Lesson 5. Imagination. You can do it if you believe you can. Imagination is a workshop of human mind where old ideas and established facts are planted like seeds. These facts and ideas may be reassembled into new combinations and put to new uses. The modern dictionary defines imagination as follows: the act of constructive intellect in grouping the materials of knowledge or thought into new, original, and rational systems. The constructive or creative faculty, embracing poetic, artistic, philosophic, scientific, and ethical imagination. The picturing power of the mind, formation of mental images, pictures, or mental representation of objects or ideas, particularly of objects of sense, perception, and of mathematical reasoning. Also, the reproduction and combination, usually with more or less irrational or abnormal modification, of the images or ideas of memory or recalled facts of experience. Imagination has been called the creative power of the soul. After going through the lessons of this course, all that you have learned of leadership and initiative must first be imagined before executing it into reality. Imagination is a hub of this whole course. You will never have a definite purpose in life. You will never have self-confidence. You will never have initiative and leadership unless you first create these qualities in your imagination and see yourself in possession of them. Just as the oak tree develops from the germ that lies in the acorn, and the bird develops from the germ that lies asleep in the egg, so will your material achievements grow out of the organized plans that you create in your imagination. The beginning of all plans and ideas first start with a thought which comes from imagination. Telepathy is a form of imagination. No matter how far one individual is, if you have harmony among one another, you will be able to communicate. This is possible. The ether has so much information stored that if we use our minds, we will be able to find more knowledge and even communicate and share knowledge with others without physically having to do so. Similar to mob psychology, most people think the same when they are together in action. Even without action, when sitting in a room, a picture, a word can have two or more minds thinking the same. There's a story of a man in prison. He has had 20 influential individuals to help him be released, and no one could help him. And then one came along and tried to help, but that prisoner stated that it cannot be done since 20 other influential individuals had already tried. The difference was that this one individual that wanted to try had imagination. He knew of a plan in his head which he imagined. His goal was to go to the governor and ask for the inmate to be released. He practiced multiple times on how the governor would react. His solution was simple: involve a third party who benefits from the situation. His method of negotiating: do not just try to benefit yourself and the person you're negotiating with. Use a third party who benefits. Example, he told the governor that if the prisoner was released, the prisoner could teach 16,000 other inmates by creating a prison school. Currently, the inmate has improved the life of over 2,000 people in his prison by spreading positive message for one to improve. He showed the warden how his decision would impact and benefit 16,000 other prisoners, which led to the governor releasing this inmate. See the power of imagination? When 20 other influential individuals could not get it done, one man could. Anything is possible with creative imagination. There is nothing wrong with a dreamer, but that dreamer must be a doer, or that dreamer must form an alliance with one who will translate those dreams into reality. Imagination is a true source of creating power. Imagine that you're trying to sell a dog who is trained to help with farming. You go to a farmland and you try to get rid of the dog by asking this handicapped farmer, and you ask him if he wanted the dog. That handicapped person will see that you're trying to get rid of the dog. Nobody wants something that you're trying to get rid of, But instead, if you had went to the handicapped person and stated that this dog can help you with your farming as he is trained, and I'm willing to give you the dog for $100, the response will be more positive and or a yes. Because you could show how this dog is beneficial to him and that positive expression that you have on your face, versus you just trying to get rid of the dog without showing how it's beneficial to the customer. Sometimes it's the most simple things we imagine that can turn that idea into greatness. Think of that time in school when you were put into a group of other students. You had to brainstorm with other students, and you need to share your ideas. You each had imagination. This brainstorming session is critical to daily use in life. Imagination should never be discouraged in life. Use your imagination as it is the foundation of all success. This lesson helps with interaction on a daily basis. Obstacles that you may face in life, and even helps salesman or a person working on commission and or in retail. You may have a side business selling online, selling high ticket items, or even trying to sell yourself in an interview. No matter what, we have transactions daily, and we do these transactions daily without even knowing that we're doing it. So be prepared. Be prepared for the transaction that you're going to have today and tomorrow. A tip for those who sell or try to sell: always ask the right questions to your customers. If a customer walks into your business, don't say, "Is there something you want?" Put yourself in your client's position, and how would your mind perceive a question like that? Would you have any interest in his comments or questions? Instead, imagine yourself working in a clothing store. A customer walks in and you say, "Good morning, sir. Would you like me to show you shirts or tie first?" This is a proper greeting and showing that you're at service to them. On a daily basis, we interact with people as if we were texting them from our phones. Sometimes we start with the cheaper options and assume people want inexpensive things. People don't want to feel cheap. It's service that people appreciate. Use your imagination and reflect on how you can make others feel special, and in return, that moment will not be forgotten by your clients. People generally do not complain of high prices, providing the service or embellishment if the merchandise is such as to pave the way for high prices. What people do complain of, and rightly so, is high prices and sloppy service. Presentation is also key to imagination. People love to buy appearance or atmosphere. You can be selling a ham sandwich and your competition across the street is doing the same. The ham comes from the same butcher and the bread comes from the same baker. So what's the difference? It's appearance and atmosphere. Your packaging, service, and the ambiance of your location could be attracting more people, which they pay more for your sandwich. Look at coffee shops that compete. One is cheap for donuts and coffee, while the other is double the price due to its ambiance and the quality of service they offer. There is a difference. It attracts different clientele, but people naturally buy appearance and atmosphere.